Sorry if I set this up here. So I've located this spot at a depth of 2'2", and this would be what looks to be a clean out covered up by the carpet. I don't see any obvious indentations or spots sticking up, but there's something definitely there. There's a transition.
Does it tell you how far out the cast iron meets
It's
concrete?
literally, so I marked the floor over there under that carpet, on top of the carpet. It's literally just a few inches in front of that. I'm showing it clean out there. I felt around and I don't feel it, so they did a pretty good, really good job of making it smooth, but I'm showing an inlet right there, which would lead me to believe that there's a clean out covered up. How long have you lived here?
30 years.
Have you ever had, is that carpet, I'm guessing, newer than 30 years?
No.
So it's been there 30, so yeah, so you may not even know it's there, but it's showing on here there's an inlet, whether it's a clean out or something else coming in. Something's there. Definitely need a jet. Got roots there.
So are you saying that's where the cast iron ends? Where you?
I'll show you on that. It's just maybe a foot and a half past that clean out. When I bring the camera back, I'll show you.
Okay. When they build new homes, do they use all cast iron these days?
No cast iron at all on the residential. They're still using cast iron in commercial, but not residential. Got some pretty good fractures there. Did he show you that on the camera?
Yeah.
There's a separation with an offset and then a crack here. Now it looks like it looks like a concrete pipe there. So you are required to maintain the line all the way to the tap, which means keeping it clear. If this is under MSD territory, which it should be, they are responsible for the structure of the pipe. So when it comes to lining, you have two options. Either one, there's your main right there, your city tap. When it comes to lining, you can line to like a foot into the right of way, or you can line to within a foot of the tap. If you line to within a foot of the tap, that releases you from the headaches of roots getting in and clogging up. You still have to maintain that line.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not following you. What is tap?
The tap is where it ties into the actual sewer main. So,
in the street.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So you have to keep that pipe clean, and you're responsible for roots, blockages, whatnot. So you have an option of running the liner out 71 feet, or you have the option of running it out to the right of way. And what I'll do is I'll give you both measurements so that you can weigh your options. You're not responsible to line MSD's pipe, but if you don't want the headaches of roots, then you line to it.
Obviously, no. I don't want to have to pay for something that I don't need to pay for.
Right.
You know, I've been on disability income since 2011, so this is going to be,
And you may get lucky if you call your insurance company. They may pay.
I've got backup insurance, but I'm sure I'm not.
And a lot of times it doesn't say.
Why would I want to line the cast iron? I'm not following.
You're not lining any cast iron.
Okay.
This
you
is
said 73 feet. It's not 73 feet.
I didn't say. No, it was 73. I'm just telling. What I'm telling you is it's 70. And that'll get you a foot past that transition. You can see all the fractures there. It's pretty rough right there. That's pretty bad. we can line through that, but it'll just have a ripple in the liner from where it's pushed up a little bit. You definitely need a jet. You got some thick roots right there. You can see that brown. That's probably 1/4 to 3/8 diameter. Hopefully the pipe is in good shape behind all that. We can't see. We won't be able to see until it's jetted, so it would have to be carefully jetted to try and avoid it collapsing.
What about Rudex instead of jetting?
No. So the thing with Rudex, if you're going to do Rudex, one, you only do Rudex after you cut the... So the way that it works with Rudex is, my experience of doing this 25 years, is you jet it, you wait 8 to 10 weeks for the roots to grow back, and then you do the Rudex. You have to do the Rudex once a year, every year. It would take you, to get that much root out of there, especially that big, it would probably be 6 months. So we're looking at a 49-foot liner. There's going to be about a 1-foot transition, so it would be a 4x6 transitional liner, 49 feet long. I'm going to trying to pause the video and get a better location on that transition and see if we're lucky enough that we can actually take out all the 4-inch.
What is
that bump out? Do you know what's behind that? That area where you got those bobbleheads and dartboard?
It's the water line coming in to the house, and then, the other line coming.
The water line. I'll make sure and get some pictures of that.
I mean, it lifts off the top if you needed to look down in there.
My biggest thing is we would have to dig real close to it. So you're not really concerned about the cast iron at all?
Based on what Underground said, no. I mean, he said it was in pretty good shape.
But we will go off of what Underground said then versus what I say. There's a few, majority of it is okay. There's several spots that does have heavy scale. That's something you can address down the road if you get any more backups.
I haven't had any backups.
So what?
I didn't call Underground because I had a plumbing issue. I called them because ever since I've lived here, that sidewalk has been sloped. And I didn't have the sewer inspected 30 years ago. But the inspector of the house, he said sidewalks settled. And he said, if you look at this, he was standing in the living room looking out. He said, if you look at that, he says, the whole yard slopes that way, and the street, and look at the edge of your driveway, everything is sloping down. So I always took for granted that is just settling. And when my friend came over with her husband, who's the brother of Ron, he said, I think that's a sewer problem. And that's when I started thinking, okay, I've never had any problems.
Yeah, it's not a sewer problem. Because for it to be that bad, especially if it was sloped 30 years ago,
It was.
it's not going to get any better. So if it was a sewer problem, then you'd be collapsed by now. Because if that was like that 30 years ago and it was a sewer issue, then it would have only got worse. You know what I mean? It's not going to better itself. So a lot of times what happens is, with ground shifting, freezing, thawing, all that, or somebody didn't do proper backfilling